A man in Florida had November 1st circled on his kitchen calendar. That was the day he was filing for Social Security at 62. He had told his neighbors, his brother-in-law, his whole family. Then his nephew sat down with him over coffee, pulled out a legal pad, and showed him one number, $42,000. That is what claiming at 62 was about to cost him for the rest of his life? And by the end of this video, you will know how to calculate that exact number for yourself.
Let's jump right in. I want you to picture a very specific Friday morning in June. We aren't in some sterile government building or a high-rise financial advisor's office. No, we're sitting at a kitchen table, and we're about to witness a decision being made. A decision that perfectly illustrates the single most expensive mistake American retirees make, often without even realizing it. Our setting is a single-story house in Pensacola, Florida. The man sitting at the table with a cup of coffee is Eugene. He's 62 years old, a pipe fitter who literally just stopped wearing steel-toed boots to work last month. Sitting across from him is his nephew, Marcus, who happens to be a local tax preparer. And hanging on the wall nearby is a kitchen calendar with November 1st confidently circled in heavy ink. That is Eugene's planned, rock-solid filing date for Social Security. Now, Eugene's financial baseline is actually pretty solid. He and his wife, Linda, have a paid-off house and 2 reliable vehicles. Eugene has $148,000 saved up in a 401k, plus a small union pension that pays $510 a month starting right now. Their combined monthly household expenses sit right around $3,800. Eugene's plan is incredibly simple. Log into the government website on November 1st and just start collecting his check. He's been looking forward to this date like a vacation. You see, to Eugene, 62 isn't just an age. It is the number. It's the finish line he set for himself years ago to finally be done with working. He feels he's earned it, and he just wants his check to start flowing in. But when his nephew Marcus looked at Eugene's Social Security statement over coffee, he pulled out a yellow legal pad to show him the real math.
The government statement lays out some very clear options. It shows his benefit at age 62, which for Eugene is $1,680 a month. It shows the benefit at his full retirement age of 67, which bumps up to $2,390, and his maximum benefit at age 70, which sits at $2,964. Like most folks, Eugene looked at these monthly figures, calculated what he needed to cover his immediate bills, and just figured his 401k could cover the rest.
Well, Marcus didn't argue with Eugene's immediate needs. Instead, he simply shifted the perspective. Eugene is in great health, and the average life expectancy for a 62-year-old American male in his condition is roughly 84 years. That creates a 22-year planning horizon. Marcus wanted his uncle to look past the monthly amount and focus entirely on the lifetime amount. Here is the exact math Marcus wrote out on that legal pad. If Eugene claims right now at age 62, he gets his $1,680 for 264 months, totaling a lifetime payout of $443,520. But if he waits until age 67, sure, he gets zero for 5 years. But from 67 to 84, he receives $2,390 for 204 months, totaling $487,560. And if he delays all the way to age 70, taking zero for 8 years, his $2,964 monthly benefit over 168 months brings his total to $497,952. So the absolutely crucial point here is this number. $44,040. That is how much more lifetime income Eugene produces simply by claiming at 67 instead of 62, assuming he lives to age 84. The higher monthly amount from waiting more than compensates for those initial years of receiving zero payments. This brings us to a fundamental concept Marcus explained, which is the break-even age. This is the exact age at which the higher monthly benefit from waiting finally catches up to, and then surpasses, the cumulative payments you would have received by claiming early. Honestly, it is the critical threshold that determines which choice actually puts more money in your pocket over your lifespan. For Eugene, comparing a claim at 62 versus waiting until 67, his personal break-even age is approximately 79. Before age 79, the early claimer is technically ahead in total dollars. But after 79, the person who waited pulls ahead and stays ahead for every single additional year of life. And given that Eugene's father lived to 83 and his mother is still highly active at 81, living past 79 is a very probable scenario for him. But you know, the monthly benefit is only part of the story. There is a hidden tax trap we have to talk about. The moment Eugene files, his income becomes subject to the provisional income formula. That's the IRS calculation that determines if your Social Security is taxed. By claiming early at 62 and drawing from his 401k to supplement his lifestyle, his combined income pushes him above the single filer threshold, meaning up to 50% of his Social Security benefit becomes taxable immediately. Claiming at 62 also has a really severe impact on Eugene's life savings. Let's do the math. His monthly expenses are $3,800. We subtract his early Social Security benefit of $1,680 and his $510 pension. That leaves a monthly gap of $1,610 that must be pulled directly from his 401k. Over the course of a year, that translates to an annual 401k draw of $19,320.
Now, this reveals the stark danger of that withdrawal rate. Eugene only has $148,000 in his 401k. If he is pulling out $19,320 every single year, without even accounting for market fluctuations, his entire life savings will be completely depleted in just 7.6 years.
This paints a pretty grim picture. Under his original November 1st plan, by the time Eugene reaches age 70, his 401k is entirely gone. His monthly income will only consist of his Social Security and his pension. He'll be facing a massive $1,610 monthly shortfall to maintain his current lifestyle, but he will have absolutely zero savings left to cover it.
Seeing this, you might be wondering, well, shouldn't he just delay claiming until 67 and live off his 401k in the meantime? But the math doesn't support that either. To bridge purely to age 67 without Social Security, Eugene would need $197,400 from his 401k just to cover his living expenses. He only has $148,000. He literally cannot afford to just wait without making some major structural changes.
This is where Marcus's legal pad got highly specific, and where a potentially devastating financial trajectory was turned into a sustainable reality. Marcus mapped out a customized 3-step bridge plan. Now, it requires compromise, sure, but it mathematically secures Eugene's future. The steps are targeted part-time work, a partial delay in claiming, and strategic Roth conversions. Let's break these down one by one. Step 1 involves Eugene taking a part-time consulting role with his former employer. It's a non-physical inspection role, just 20 hours a week at $28 an hour. This generates about $29,000 a year from ages 62 to 65. This income covers the majority of his living expenses, acting as a financial shield that dramatically reduces his required withdrawals and protects his 401k nest egg during these critical gap years. Step 2 is a strategic compromise. Instead of an impossible 5-year wait all the way to 67, Eugene delays claiming just to age 65. This bumps his monthly benefit up to $2,140, which is $460 more per month than claiming at 62, and that's locked in for the rest of his life. It's a massive upgrade to his permanent guaranteed income, entirely made possible by his part-time consulting.
Step 3 turns a good plan into a brilliant tax strategy. Because Eugene's taxable income is relatively low during these 3 bridging years, he can execute modest Roth conversions. By converting $15,000 a year at the low 12% bracket, he successfully moves $45,000 of pre-tax money into permanent tax-free status before his Social Security begins. This beautifully avoids the trap of forced, highly taxed withdrawals later on in retirement.
When we place these two plans side by side, the contrast is staggering. Under Plan A, claiming at 62, Eugene gets $443,000 in lifetime Social Security. His 401k is completely wiped out by age 70, and he faces maximum provisional income taxes. Under the new 3-step plan, his lifetime Social Security jumps to $485,000, his 401k is preserved to last several years longer, and he gains incredible tax-free Roth flexibility for his late retirement. The final line drawn on Marcus's legal pad emphasized this exact number, $42,000. That is the sheer increase in total lifetime Social Security income alone, simply by modifying the plan. One single conversation over a cup of coffee completely altered Eugene's financial trajectory. The reality is, if you have a filing date in mind, you cannot rely purely on the basic government statement. You absolutely must do this legal pad exercise for your specific situation. First, run your personal break-even calculation comparing early claiming to full retirement age. Second, model exactly how fast your 401k will deplete covering your monthly gap. And third, calculate your provisional income to see how much of your hard-earned benefit will be lost to taxes. So, we return to the kitchen table in Pensacola. The coffee is still warm. November 1st is still circled on the calendar, just 6 weeks away. But Eugene's absolute certainty about that date has been entirely undone by basic math. He realizes that claiming at 62 was the most expensive date he had ever circled. And that leaves us with a critical question for your own retirement planning. Have you mapped out the lifetime math for your specific situation, or is the filing date you currently have circled on your calendar about to quietly cost you an absolute fortune? Take the time, run your numbers. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.
So that is the real math the Social Security Administration never puts in front of you. Not the monthly amount, the lifetime amount. And for Eugene, that one conversation over coffee was worth more than $42,000. Here is the truth. Millions of people are sitting at their own kitchen table right now with a filing date circled on the calendar, and nobody has ever shown them this breakdown. If this video just saved you from becoming one of them, do not let it end here. Hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications, because every single week I break down another real scenario just like Eugene's, the exact numbers, the exact traps, the exact fix. This channel exists because the system will never explain this to you in plain English. I will. And if you are between 59 and 65 with a filing date already in mind, go watch the video right on your screen next, where I walk through exactly how to calculate your own break-even age step by step. Drop your age, your state, and your benefit amount at 62 versus full retirement age in the comments below. I read every single one, and I might use your numbers in the next breakdown. I will see you in the next one.